Welcome everyone. These stories are not meant to entertain. Some stories are meant to warn. Some stories ask to teach us what happens when power meets nation story, when control replaces humanity, and when and human behind is treated like an object. This is one of Prince's story. It begins on a hot, heavy night in August 1851 in the dream to be called land of Southside, Virginia, a land where the air smelled of wood solely, corning labels and suffering, and where human lives we are writing in lands like Crete. On that night, a slow preacher wrote a single strong line in Hickback. On his Pokemon appointment again 90 unit Poisial, Charchete Fortunes and Carlation Market. Price $847. Price is 80 into 47, almost 4 times the normal price. No name, no description, no explanation, only on the word. Unit, the viewer was a wealthy politician owner named Thomas Ritchie, owner of a Belmont estate, 1200 acres of land, power and silence. And what happens next would destroy his family, his plantation and his legacy forever. A world built on control in 1851, Southern Virginia was a world of order and currently hidden behind Neymar's Hort, Clomins, red brick mansion, clean sword, beautiful grandeurs, and behind it all, clean sphere and forest labor. Glimont plantation stood proudly on the edge of prime Edward County, a massive generation house, dozens of poverty filled row of wooden shabby cabins behind the mansion. 42 and Celebi people lived there, not as family, not as human, as property. Thomas Ritchie was known as a proper government, not violent, not kind, just cold, efforting, distant, controlled. His wife, Chatterley Ritchie, was admitted in society, beautiful, cold, elegant, and deeply landly. Their marriage looked perfect from the outside. Inside it was empty. The Arabian on a woman every night, a Karanji aerobit, a Willimont. Inside it was the young Slovak person from Carlisle. No name was recorded in any leaders, no origin, no family history, only that the body did not fit the social categories of the time. Not male, not female, not understood. In 1851 society, this was not seen as human difference. It was seen as quarterly actions, a spiderman. They were located in a small room near the east west of the house, not with the other enslaved people. Is promptly hidden, is tolerated, and the institution changed everything. The beginning of obsession at first, timness come along. He would sit watched it. A question not out of care, out of control. That chattering began to come, at first silently, that religion day, then privately, then society. When it started as curiosity, become fixation. What became fixation turned into dependency. When become dependency, turned into obsession, not love, not compassion, not distinct obsession. They we are no longer seeing a person. They we are seeing a symbol, something from behind, something hidden, something then him, team power and scrap. They began fighting not over money but over excess. Who, what go fast? Who would be alone? Who had more control? Their marriage became a battlefield. The Posopejas, Colopage, the plantation began to change. Philips negated worked in Sarbetive account impatient room looked, Sarbiban transferred. People noticed fear in the house, not fear of punishment, fear of something wrong. Cat-turning became withdrawn. Thomas became unstable. Brown became panicked. Their obsession was no longer secret. It was consuming them. The incelibate person who no longer teached at label, nor as a servant, not even as property, but as an object of poisopial adaptation. There is what power does, what there is no moral behind it does stop. It does limit itself. It does feel guilt. It consumes the culpist. In late 1852, 3 deeds were recorded. No concert, no name, no expulsion. Only select record below patentation was advented. Worked were sold off. Philid lived in brutally house concert room scholars. The estate was attempted for a foundation of its value. Court documents inculcated on a strong foundation. Curtained room most remained scholars in property. Air documents returned to the Ritonji household were destroyed. Legends browned later removed. Record yard state history was buried. The real lesson. This story is not about my state, not about scoundrel, not about soul. It is about power without mortality. It is about what happiness when a happen behind in redundancy to an object. It is about how objection grow when there is no accountability, no empathy, no humanity, no boundaries, no moral state. The instrument person was not the danger. The system was. The objection was not desert. It was control attention. The colopest was not supernatural. It was poisonal. When people beheld their own other, they stopped seeing Tim Silver as human too. Final message education core. This story teacher on deep truth. When human lost the ability to see other human as culture, they also lost themselves. Power without ends creates monsters. Obsession without morality destroys everything. Control without compassion leads to culpins. History is full of stories like this. Not pieces of strong people, but pieces of break system and every generation. Most choice to reflect it or to learn from it. History does not allow spoke loudly. Something it which peer, something in hidden in a solid room. Barnett papers and a solid name. After below plantation was abandoned, the land did not die, but the two did. The field were sold, the house was concealed, the market were escorted. At first, different state, the returns name, disconnected from public society, and the story was burned. But Barnard's history does not despair. It looks the witnessed no one listened 2 years later in private letter and distress small fragments appointed a changed older word. The house creates a silent, the fields heavier, the sound a farmer in Soviet war cried. He were afraid not of punishment but of what was happening inside the house. A nearby recorded the stupid shining people. They only save proportion. There were no story of guards. The were story of poisopigal colpacist. The human cost no one recorded. No official document recorded the name of the insolvability person. No grave, no record, no history. No basis they did X, but basis the system does allow them to act as a person. This is the default violency of history, not just possible suffering, not answer to be handmade in trouble, to be forgotten in horns. The real crime was not obsession. The real crime was not suicide. The real crime was not destroyed. The real crime was this: a human being was turned into an object of power, control, and concentrate. This is how dehumanization works. Step 1: remove identity. Step 2: remove dignity. Step 3: remove voice. Step 4: remove humanity. Step 5: just speak control. And when that happens, distortion becomes normal. Poisopigial to power without mortality. Threat disorientation. Power stops seeing reality, that stops seeing limit. There stop seeing consequence, they stop seeing humanity. Obsession become addiction, control become identity. Ownership become intermittent, quality become routine. The culprits become inevitable. The educational message, the story teacher are something timeless system that treats human as property will allow distortion or the owner, and the owner not importantly, not latently, not diametrically, but slowly court. Possible call it morality ain't nothing, remains but silent and real. Final teaching: history is not danger. Basis of bad people, history is danger. Basis of system that allow power without accountability. Every year, how it version is volument, patentation, different cultures, different language, different technology, some possibility, control objection, and dehumanization, silent, collapsed, final link of narration, ending hope, and human stop shining. Human as human, they don't become goods. They become impotently. The greatest danger in history is not able people, it is powerful people without conscience. Some stories do not end with noise, they end with silence. No grave, no record, no name, no justice, no concerts, only impotent room, skulls, door, and burned papers. Lemon patentation did not collapse in one night, in rooted from the inside, not pieces of get hurst, not pieces of coins, not pieces of my story, but pieces of dehumanization. The own toast history hated the enslaved person, and the control of the story was never the danger. They were never the twist. They were never the choice. They were the victim of a system that turned humans into objects. A system where identity was at stake. Constant did not exist. Voice was forbidden, humanity was denied, and power was unlimited. The system created the objection. The system create the culprits. The system create the silent. The voice of legal law. There is a roots in human history. When power was no limit, it does not product, it consumes. People who control others stop controlling. Team Silver, people who own other lives their own humanity. People who demanded other destroy their on means. The meaning of this story. This is not a story about on plantation. This is not a story about on family. This is not a story about on enslaved person. This is a story about every system. This remove humanity design. Different contrast, different culturalist, different language. Some partner control objection. Dehumanization collapsed allow. The name this was never right. History never recorded their name, but this does not mean they were nothing. It means history was unjust, something the most important. Lives are the own's history, their two else. Final educational message. This story teaching on timeless truths. A society is not measured by its oil, but by how it treats its workers, people, power. Without compassion, it not state. It is corporation. Control without morality is not order. It is destruction, final closing line, chain machines ending. Below partnation, it grown. The refugee name of grown. The record are gone. The olds in grown, but the lesson remained when humanity stopped saying human as human. History does not forget in report.